Hey folks, welcome into TPN Finance here on the Pulse Network. I am Tyler Pybert, and you know what, today we've got some interesting stuff that we're going to go ahead and talk about. As always, we're joined by the CEO of the Pulse Network, Mr. Saber. Steven, how's it going?
Going great.
Good to hear. All right, so you know, one of the things what we really like to do is find a couple different articles that were important, that we found important, that you guys should actually make sure you're reading out there. One of them comes from the HBR Blog Network. And it's the fear that's holding back your business. Now, you know, when you see the headline, it kind of throws you off for a little bit because you say, what's this fear that everybody's talking about? But it really isn't about the fear that I think everybody's leaning towards, right?
No, it's not what you would think when you first read the title, but I think the topic is actually such an important topic for CEOs and business leaders to think about. And it's all about networking. It's about the message in the article is don't forget to network. And network as much as you possibly can because that's how you're going to grow your business. And really what the author points out is when you're first starting a business, reach beyond where you would normally reach. You know, he's talking about one of his former students and saying, the student did a great job for me, but didn't tell me he was launching a business and I could have helped.
That fear thing really kind of throws me off it because is it people that are they afraid? I mean, what's the reasoning for not going out and doing that?
It's the I don't want to bother him theory.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Definitely
too busy, I don't want to get in his way, he'd never do it for me, I don't want to ask. And the hardest thing to do, it's you know, whether you're in sales or business leadership, the ask is the hardest part, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you're first starting out, it's the am I worthy theory. Am I worthy of interrupting your time to ask you for a favor and ask you to be a reference and ask you to help me out? And that's the fear. That's the fear you have to get over.
Is there a certain point that you say, enough's enough, I'm done reaching out to these people?
Never.
I mean, really?
Never. In
Never.
fact, when you do that is when you fail. So
really?
Be clear that you can never stop reaching out, you can never stop networking, and part of it is timing, part of it is, it's interesting, I'll tell you a story. This person was launching a business and it was in higher ed, and they were reaching out to higher ed groups that run executive education programs to offer a certain type of business model. And what's interesting to me is it's a model that never should have been, that no one would have ever accepted. They just were not interested in this model historically, but in today's economic time, they're receptive. So if he had stopped reaching out, someone else would have reached out and grabbed that business on him. And so never stop. And that's really what this article is about, is when you're first starting, it's absolutely critical, but when you keep going, it's even more critical.
I find it interesting, too, is you can never network with enough of the people. I mean, meaning that I think a lot of people, I'm sure you guys feel the same out there, is, well, you know what, I'm going for this job, so I can only need to reconnect with one type of person out there. Do you reconnect with, all your past folks? I mean, like for me, am I going back and I'm saying, hey, you know, Professor Gibbs, you know, I'm going to reconnect with you back then. I mean, do you have to reconnect with everybody, or is it just, you know, a certain amount of people?
It's everybody all the time. And that's the thing. And that's
where do you find time for regular work?
But that's your job. This is the thing. The best salespeople are great networkers.
Okay.
And the best CEOs are great networkers. And and the hard part is, it's funny, I'll come in here and I'll often say to people, I'm most effective when I'm not in the building, because that means I'm out networking. I'm out making connections. I'm out talking to people, and I'm out finding new opportunities.